Guys, look at this. You cannot make this shit up. Let's share the screen and have some fun.
Killer in Fairfax County, who was being held at a Northern Virginia mental health institute, was allowed to leave the facility and hop on a one-way flight to Tajikistan.
Yeah, so many questions here. Our chief legal correspondent, Katie Barlow, is live with the exclusive details tonight. Hey, Katie.
Check this out.
So in 2019, Abdulloi Toshpulodzoda was allowed, he killed his landlord in 2019, and then he was found not guilty by reason of insanity in 2022, and then committed to the Northern Virginia Mental Health Institute. Now you fast forward to June of this year, and a Fairfax County judge said that he, quote, shall not be released from custody and inpatient hospitalization without further order from this court. But in Virginia, apparently, a mental health institute can grant permission to someone, even an accused murderer, to leave for a day or even a weekend without an escort, despite the judge's order. In 2024, Toshpulodzoda was actually allowed to leave the Commonwealth with the support of the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office here and go to D.C. to the Tajik embassy to get a passport.
Check her face.
On July 6th of this year, he used that passport when he was granted a weekend pass from the institute, went to Dulles Airport and hopped on a one-way flight to Tajikistan by way of Istanbul. Now, most of the details of this story are all laid out in a motion filed by the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office on August 5th, which is 1 month after he left the country. And they asked a judge to issue a warrant that could be enforced beyond Virginia's borders. Attached to that motion is a declaration by a Turkish Airlines employee verifying the ticket he used that appears to include a code for an upgrade to a window seat. And the ticket was purchased by someone else, but in Toshpulodzoda's name. And we asked the Department of Behavioral Health that oversees the institute where he was committed how something like this could happen. And they said that federal and state privacy laws prevent them from talking about any individual case. But while an individual remains committed, Virginia law provides that the department clinical teams can request graduated privileges as part of treatment based on clinical and public safety assessments that are reviewed and approved by a panel of experts before they progress to the next step. Now, the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office confirmed that the office has continued to oppose his release, including in June of this year, because there was no way to ensure the safety of the community. But outside of those hearings, a spokesperson said the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office does not have a role in other decisions. The office also said a bench warrant has now been issued, and if he re-enters the U.S., he will be arrested and brought to Virginia.
I think every resident of the state of Virginia should be up in arms that people who have committed violence in this Commonwealth and have been adjudicated as needing inpatient hospitalization are allowed to walk the streets, and there's no monitoring. They're just letting them go. And in some cases, they're paying for their apartment to live amongst us, and we're not confident that they're truly cured.
So how do you like that? This is crazy, 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 crazy. So not only are they letting them free, but we're paying for it. How crazy is that? So a man found not guilty by reason of insanity, because I got to tell you how this whole thing started. After killing his roommate, he was being held in a Virginia State Psychiatric Hospital. His name is whatever it is. Remember, English is my second language. I cannot say that, but I will put it in the script. In December 2019, he stabbed his 61-year-old roommate, whatever his name was, rest in peace, to death. In 2022, a jury found, whatever his name is, not guilty by reason of insanity. He was committed to the Northern Virginia Mental Health Institute. But here's where the story gets a little crazy. In August 2024, court records show he was allowed to leave the hospital for 2 days without hospital staff accompanying him. In June of 2026, a judge ordered that he remain confined in the state behavioral health facility. But in July 6th of 2026, whatever his name is, was allowed to leave the mental institution for a 48-hour community pass. How lucky is he? He was supposed to return on July 8th. He never comes back. Instead, Court record shows he went to Washington Dulles International Airport, where he boarded a flight to whatever country and continued on to whatever country. And here's another piece of the story. It gets better. He had previously been permitted to obtain his passport when he went to Washington, D.C. He also had access to housing, like the man said, through Fairfax County at this supportive housing program that they have, which is a community thing. So let's put it all together. Murder, not guilty by reason of insanity. State psychiatric hospital. Passport obtained during an escorted trip to Washington. Continue inpatient commitment. Previously unaccompanied 2-day trip. 48-hour community pass. Housing provided through a program. Dallas Airport or Dulles Airport. One-way flight, whatever country. And now there's a bench warrant for his arrest and the return to the United States. Trust me, we don't want him. The question isn't whether he was allegedly allowed to leave the country. He wasn't. The question is, how did a man who was ordered to remain in state psychiatric facility get the opportunity to walk out the door and make it all the way to an international airport? That's the rabbit hole. I am Barbie, and this is Barbie Unfiltered. Till next time, thank you and have a great day.